What's up everyone, it's Q from Retro Q Gaming, and possibly something amazing has happened. This could be a little bit of a reach, it could not be, but I wouldn't put it past companies, whatever, and my own investment and my own hype regarding the series, regarding the game, whatever it is. Anyway, let's get into what we're going to talk about. So it looks like Borderlands Take-Two, Gearbox, whoever's in charge of it at this point, it looks like they may have just slightly teased a little bit of Borderlands 3. Here we are right at the end of the year, December 28th, and they could potentially be teasing a little bit of Borderlands 3. We all know Borderlands 3 does officially exist and it's officially underway and in production. We have seen some slight video tech footage about it not years ago, but earlier on in this year. And we've also seen some screenshots about what the Unreal Engine 4 and the tech within is actually going to show and look like for Borderlands 3, or at least to give a ballpark, because it's always a work in progress. They're improving everything as they go along, from both Epic Games on the Unreal Engine side and from Gearbox on the actual development side and what they can do. So anyway, how did they tease this, or what did they do? Well, Borderlands, the official Borderlands verified Twitter account, tweeted out this, the thing you've been looking at. So we have 10 weapons manufacturers, gazillions of guns, and 400% more awesome. Now, of course, they list the Torg weapons, they have the Jacobs weapons, and of course, even Hyperion. Now, you may be wondering, like, what does that have to do with Borderlands 3? Maybe it's just advertising Borderlands, Borderlands 2, or Borderlands the pre-sequel, or the Handsome Collection for consoles, or whatever. Well, when you look at all the numbers that they've put in there into this tweet, and you compare them to what they did for Borderlands 2 and Borderlands the pre-sequel when advertising those games when they were coming out, by comparison, we have Borderlands 2, which had 96.5% more wub, 870 gajillion more guns, 1,000 degrees hotter than the previous game. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I count gazillions of guns more than gajillions of guns. That's just me, but that's the way I understand it. And besides, if it's 400% more awesome, what's it 400% more awesome than? I'm going to go with Borderlands 2, the best game of all three of them so far. And just to keep everything we do here 10 by 10, we keep it at 100. You compare it to the pre-sequel, where you had 500 ice puns, 3 gajillion laser guns, the game was too hot to handle, 1 legendary robot, 0 gravity, 0 mercy, and 1 moon wizard. So I think it's pretty safe to say that this is a Borderlands 3 teaser, which gets me really hyped that we're going to see it in 2018. And my hype for Borderlands is absolutely crazy, because let me give you a quick little backstory on how my experience with Borderlands actually came about and actually happened. After this, I'll also go into a tiny little bit about the 1 or 2 possible negatives, as well as what I want to see in Borderlands 3. These are things I've mentioned in videos previously, so chances are if you've already seen those and remember them, you can probably just watch this video for the sake of it to hear them again, because why would you not want to hear me fanboy out over Borderlands again? Anyway, way back in 2014, when that absolute piece of shit Destiny game was coming out, you may remember there was originally a closed alpha and then an open beta. I didn't bother playing the alpha, but I did bother playing the open beta. At this point, I had never played Borderlands or Borderlands 2, or the pre-sequel for that matter, but I don't think it was even out yet at that point. So when I played the Destiny beta, I was absolutely appalled by how bad it was. And I was thinking, well, you know, wait a minute. Destiny is trying to be Borderlands. This I already know. I've never played Borderlands 1, I've never played Borderlands 2, they didn't seem like they would interest me. Yet, despite all that, I actually had Borderlands 2 dirt cheap on a Steam sale with the season pass. You guys, you PC gamers out there, you know how it is with the Steam sales. You know my pain, you know what I'm doing. So after playing the Destiny beta and seeing how bad it was, I decided I'd go back and see what the original game that they were trying to emulate was like. So I downloaded Borderlands 2, I installed it, I downloaded all the DLC I had access to, I turned all the graphics up to max. I was using a 60Hz monitor back then, so I was playing at 60 frames per second, and I started playing Borderlands 2. Several minutes into the game, when you get to Claptrap's shack, I was already in love with the game. And over the course of the next week, I put about 60 hours straight into the game. Now, not 60 hours straight, like, not one big marathon.
I'm not a young man anymore.
But for a new game, or a new experience for me to play, to grip me so much to put about 60 hours into it within a week, is a pretty big deal. There's very few games that can do that. Borderlands 2 was one of those games. I went on and preached how great Borderlands 2 was for years, and I still do to this day, which is why my hype for Borderlands 3 is crazy. I think it's going to be bigger and better in every single way. Unreal Engine 4 is crazy, it's mad optimized, and it can do some good stuff, especially on PC and high-end hardware. So I'm looking forward to some badass PhysX, because PhysX in that game, in Borderlands 2, is absolutely amazing. It adds so much to the game, it's crazy. And Unreal Engine 4 is far, far better optimized than Unreal Engine 3. So overall, it's going to play considerably better, and you'll get considerably better performance out of it. And what I really want to see is I really hope that they don't go the Destiny route. They don't go the online shared universe kind of thing. I really hope they stick it to like Borderlands 1, 2 and the pre-sequel did, so that we can include NVIDIA Ansel. I want to be able to rock NVIDIA Ansel in an Unreal Engine 4 game like Borderlands and make some unbelievable screenshots. You couple those max settings with the crazy PhysX and Unreal Engine 4, yes, NVIDIA Ansel for days, people. Now, I also will say one other thing, just to keep it fair and keep it even. There is one or two things I am very concerned about. We all know Take-Two, who own 2K Games, who own Gearbox, are very money hungry. They're looking at ways to monetize their single player games. Granted, Borderlands isn't a full-on 100% multiplayer game, but you know what I'm getting at here. And Gearbox themselves have always been known to be a little bit greedy. Look at the Borderlands 2 DLC fiasco, for example. So when you look at Gearbox and Randy Pitchford, who's a bit of a cunt, even if he does make some damn good games sometimes, all those games of course start with the words Borderlands and not Aliens or Battleborn, I'm very worried that the whole loot box thing or crazy DLC microtransactions fiasco could go extremely wrong in this case. But regardless, I remain to be proven wrong, and my cynicism remains to be proven, so I'm still going in hyped and optimistic. Personally, I can't wait for 2018, because if Borderlands 3 does come out, it's easily going to be one of my top games of 2018. I'm predicting it right now that I cannot fucking wait for Borderlands 3. So let me know in the comment section below, do you love Borderlands? Are you hyped for Borderlands 3? Do you think this is a teaser for Borderlands 3? What route do you want to see them take? Do you want to see them take a Destiny style approach with the always online shared universe, but obviously Gearbox would do it much better than fake Bungie are doing it, and they could actually do it right instead of what Destiny is laughably pulling off poorly? Or do you want to keep it like the original Borderlands game, where it's essentially an offline experience that you can play multiplayer with friends whenever you want? Is there anything specifically you want to see in it, like Ansel or something else? And is there any worries? Do you think my worries are justified because of the whole history with Gearbox, Take-Two, 2K Games, and the whole DLC microtransactions aspect? So let me know all that good stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching. I will see you on the rest of the videos in my channel.